All right. This week we're diving deep into something that I've followed for decades. It's not just a sport, it's not just entertainment, and if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm talking about Formula One. Now, this is a monumental time to be an F1 fan. It's April 2026, and we're literally standing in the middle of a historic shift. We've just finished the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka, and and the hierarchy of the sport has been turned upside down. I don't know. For me, F1, it's an obsession. It's a passion. It's a demographic wildfire. I was reading that 40% of the global fan base is now female, and it's bridging generations like never before. Because it's simply not about speed, it's about thermal management, kinetic energy deployment, and of course, cunning strategy. And the difference between a podium and I don't know what it's called, DNF, is measured in hundredths of a second sometimes. So we're watching the ultimate collision here of heritage and disruption. You've got Ferrari, the only name in F1 to be there since the very first red lights went out in 1950. And they're going wheel to wheel with some really heavy hitting newcomers like Audi and Cadillac. Two dynamite teams, I think. If you really understand it, F1 is never just about cars going fast. It's about cycles of power, genius, and of course a little chaos, all wrapped up on circuits, marvelous circuits around the world. Now, think about the legends that, built this so-called temple. Ayrton Senna, the king of Monaco, raw, supernatural. Alain Prost, the so-called professor, calculating every apex to stalk every opponent. And my favorite, Michael Schumacher, whose relentless dominance refined or redefined the very concept of an era. And today, or of course, we always have Lewis Hamilton in the background. He's tied with Schumacher with 7 titles, but he's currently in his second season with Ferrari, and he's still hunting that elusive 8, and I personally hope he gets it. F1 isn't static. It resets, it evolves, and it really humbles everybody. This year, 2026, seismic shift that we've been waiting for is coming. This is the power unit reset. We've stripped away the very complex MGUH, and we've moved to a 50-50 power split, half internal combustion and half electronic surge. And as this new chapter unfolds, I'm sure we're seeing history being rewritten and in real time. 19-year-old Kimi Antonelli, the Mercedes phenom, he just became the youngest championship leader in history of the sport. He didn't just win, he dominated back to back in China and then just most recently at the Japanese Grand Prix. He leads the standings with 72 points and, proving that speed without fear can topple even the old guard. Meanwhile, my hero Lewis Hamilton is still there, still collecting podiums, and still reminding the world that greatness doesn't fade like, like horsepower in a straight line. Stay on racing subjects. And the grid is staggering. We have a 26-year age gap from Fernando Alonso, the 44-year-old Iron Man of the grid, down to 18-year-old rookie Arvid Lindblad. Uh, it's a literal generation apart, fighting for the same square inch of asphalt. It's strategy on the edge. It's not just speed, it's energy management. And your qualifying lap this year isn't just about steering, it's about manual override mode. Now, the FIA just tweaked the energy recovery rules, dropping the harvest limit from 9 megajoules down to 8. And I guess that's just to ensure we don't see cars, clipping each other or running out of battery on the long straightaways. And, that's the kind of nuance that F1 delivers. Innovation on the jagged edge of physics. And then, like anything else, we have the drama beyond cockpit politics. They're baked into the gearbox. Safety discussions are red hot after Ollie Behrman's 50G impact in Japan. That, by the way, he walked away from because of the new designs. Just another stark reminder that even with new advanced side impact structures, these race pilots flirt with danger every single lap. Now, the manufacturers aren't here for participation trophies. Audi and Cadillac, well, they entered the fray to dethrone the kings. Red Bull, well, incredibly is off the championship lead right now, but I don't think they're gone. They're a little wounded, like a wounded tiger. They're probably adapting and striking back between races, coming up with new strategies and new philosophies. Then there's the tapestry of the grid. Lando Norris, our defending world champion from McLaren. And I guess right now he's fighting to prove that his 25 title, wasn't just a fluke. And another all-star, Oscar Piastri, the Iceman, who just took P2 at Suzuka. And, of course, Max Verstappen battling a very difficult car that feels more like a midfield car than a contender. This isn't just racing. This is evolution, drama, science, and pure adrenaline, sometimes all in the same corner. No matter how much you think you understand F1, it always has something new to teach us. Or, infuriate us. Or, go, wow, just blows your mind. That's why I watch. That's why we race with our hearts on every lap. So, bring on the next Grand Prix. I love it, and I'm sure everybody else loves it too. And if you don't, well, sorry for you. Anyway, that's the way I see it. I'm Michael Baumler. I'm out.